Hi, everyone. Welcome to another live stream. I hope everyone's having a wonderful Thursday. As the title says, today I want to tell you my story of how I turned into who I am right now. From in the past being the shyest kid on the block. So let me just tell you a little bit of a background story. And I can't even tell you how much that person is still inside of me. Hi, Mariah. That shy kid is so much still inside of me, and that very sensitive, introverted child is so much inside of me. But it's such a good thing because I think it gives me the skill to actually connect to music so much. And I think everyone who is very much connecting to music, who loves singing, who loves performing, playing instruments in a really, kind of a serious way, I think we all have that personality trait to where we love kind of being lost in our thoughts, and we do think a lot. We have a lot going on in our minds, and we always think about everything a lot, sometimes overthinking a lot. But I think that's kind of the character traits we need as artists in order to connect, first of all, to music, and second of all, to people. And that's what being a singer is really all about, connecting to yourself and connecting to people. And I want to tell you my story of why I believe I have learned so well to connect to myself and to read other people and to know what kind of how to be and how to communicate something to where my message gets there, and not just on the surface, not just this objective matter, but a little deeper to where they actually also get where I'm coming from emotionally, which I think is so important. Harpid is saying, I am so introvert like you, and I love music to death. I think people think that I'm rude because I'm shy. I just can't overcome this shy. 4 or 5 years old, and I've told part of the story before. I went with my mom many times to the opera theater. She played in the orchestra, and so I would sit down in the orchestra pit. I was a very good child. She knew she could rely on me not to talk, not to be loud, not, to just sit there, be quiet, and listen. And for me, the world of theater and opera, especially sitting in the middle of an orchestra, like a symphonic orchestra, and then having actually professional singers on stage, opera singers with beautiful costumes. Yes, back then they actually had beautiful costumes. They don't anymore now in Europe. Many times it's like often they call it Euro trash, and like some productions are very modern, and they don't even have a set on stage. It's a bare stage or just a couple of objects. I'm not into that. I love that kind of dream world. That's why I fell in love with theater. But I would sit in the orchestra pit, and I learned early on that being quiet results in me observing miraculous things. So, in order to listen to music, you have to be quiet, and you have to feel it. You have to listen to it. You have to experience it. And you have to be quiet. So if you're constantly outwardly acting and talking and doing, you can't really get music, right? So I think all musicians have this very introverted side to them. Another thing that happened when I grew up was that, unfortunately, my dad had this really horrible alcohol problem. So he would be drunk pretty much every day, and he would be very hateful every day. And It was pretty dramatic. I mean, my mom jumped out of a driving car once, and my dad wanted to get the gun and shoot my mom, and I was terrified. I cried almost every day as a kid. I remember that. It was very traumatic, but music was always something where I could come to, and it comforted me. But at the same time, music was always this thing that allowed me to feel the pain and the melancholy and to allow it and then go on living my life. I don't know. It felt like I needed to allow myself to feel the pain and to be melancholic and to sing and play music that made me very sad in that moment when I was sad. And I'd started composing my own songs. I started playing the piano, and I just started playing by ear when I was very young. I was probably 3 or 4, and I started playing songs by ear. I started making up words. And so music became this refuge for me. So whenever my dad was very hateful and everything was horrible, there was a place where I could come to. Also, my dog. So animals were always something. I think also introverted people really connect to animals well, because I think we have a very high emotional intelligence and we connect on an emotional level very easily. We're good at reading others. And that's one thing I learned reading my dad, because I was always looking out for like what's he doing now, and reading the signs to where I could avoid anything that would make him, blow up. And it kind of made me this very timid person of don't ever say anything and don't ever speak up, because my dad was just very strict and he would always yell at me. And so I became this terrified little kid. And in school, I would never raise my hand. I was terrified to say anything to anyone in fear of being wrong and being put on the spot like you're stupid or something. I was so terrified to say anything ever. I was terrified to do anything wrong, even by just being there. Sometimes my dad said you have no right to even be there sometimes. And so I felt like I was this very special human being, but nobody saw it. My mom did, though. Absolutely. And it was really funny because my dad had these two personalities. When he was drunk, he was this horrible, hateful person. But when he was sober, he was this wonderful dad who taught me a lot and who took me places that were wonderful. And he would explain the universe to me and the Big Bang and about astrophysics and about biology and how human brain works and the ear works. And he would draw things down and like teach me stuff. And so that was always great. He taught me a lot of handy, crafts work. I can lay hardwood floors. I can rip out walls. I can use a saw. I know how to do all these things just because my dad, he always said, just because you're a girl doesn't mean you can't do things boys could do. I mean, maybe when you grow up, like physically, you're not quite as strong, but you can find ways to do things. You just like have to know the tricks to do it. And like my house, I didn't build a house, but I did everything in here, like everything interior. I had to rip out everything when I moved in here, and I can do it. But the thing is that I was just terrified. I was so shy. I could never talk to anyone. And even with the other kids, I would never dare to say anything. And I never stood up for myself. I was terrified and shy. But interestingly enough, it wasn't hard for me to get up on a stage and do something that I had practiced and knew how to do. For some reason, because I felt that others admired even the fact that I was on stage, made me feel like they're not doing it. They're admiring me because they can't do what I can. And so I kind of felt that a little bit of confidence in the fact that I can play the piano and show others, and they admire me for it. And that it was almost like this small world of I can actually do something that nobody knows how to do, and people will watch me, and people will listen to me, and everybody's quiet, and I'm doing something that everybody's watching. And I don't know, I was always nervous, but I was like, it's almost like I needed that. I needed to have that situation in my life as a balance to be on stage. And fast forward many, many years, when I was in college studying opera performance, I still was very kind of shy in certain things, right? So I didn't have a problem being on stage. And I didn't have a problem singing in front of someone because I had come to rely on my skills because I had the skills. I could always sing. My voice would do what I wanted to do. So, but what was the hardest thing for me was the acting part. I mean, I would just stand there and sing and not move. And, it was very hard for me to actually allow others to read me, apart from just singing and doing. Just to actually open up to gesture, I thought I would look so odd or awkward. What if I move my hand? I mean, I would literally stand there, sing an aria, and even like think about the singing part, but I would think about, I really need to move my arm and gesture something, but I think it looks so weird. So I'm like, I can't move my arm. And it's like I wanted to, but I'm like, I just can't. I just can't. I look weird. I can't. It was the weirdest thing. And then my acting teacher always said, you're really good, but you just, you need to. That was the hardest. That was the hardest thing. Oh, John, are you not hearing audio? Okay, I think everybody is hearing audio so far. But that took me so long. Siri is just, I don't know. My Siri is just the worst. She always comes on when I speak for some reason. I can tell you what helped me to overcome this. A lot of videotaping myself, a lot of getting myself into those uncomfortable situations, a lot of getting in front of people, exposing myself, although I was terrified, and then just daring to be hideous. I mean, daring to be weird, daring to be like learning to not care what anybody thinks. That's the hardest thing ever. But the way I can tell you that even when I started doing YouTube videos, I had been on stage for many years, but being in front of video camera is still a different thing. It's a whole different story. And now, I do live streams. I could talk like a book for hours, and I will always think of something. But the way I am now is just practice, practice, practice. And I didn't let fear hold myself back. If I had waited for the perfect moment, or if I would ever wait for the right time, I would not have a single video on YouTube. I would not do a single live stream. I wouldn't have any child. Like I wouldn't have bought my house if I had waited for the perfect moment until everything's just right, and then I will do it. If it's right, nothing ever would have happened, ever. So not waiting for you to be good enough, it's not acceptable for you to wait till you're good enough. Because you will never be good enough. If you're a perfectionist, you're just going to have to learn. You have to just do it and swing it. I mean, fake it till you make it, really. That's how you learn. This is really how you learn. I remember doing my first YouTube videos and I had no idea. It's like, what are people thinking? What do they need? What do they want? Am I awkward? Is it crap what I'm telling people? I mean, I really thought maybe people think it's crap. But I mean, even though I have a degree, I have a university diploma in voice, and I had to take vocal pedagogy in there. It's not like I didn't know what I was talking about, but still, even then I was like, I think maybe it's crap. I don't know. Is it good? I don't know. And even like I still sometimes have those thoughts, but um, I learned to just don't even care. It's like if someone likes it, that's good. They can learn from it. And if they don't like it, let them go somewhere else. It's good. Everybody has different tastes. It's like music, right? You can't argue about music. It's like one person will tell you, "Ooh, I love this song." And the next person will say, "Oh, I hate that song." I mean, who's right? I don't know. They're both right, right? So, but really, you just have to start doing it. Just start doing it. Don't wait till something's right or till whatever. There's, the best time to start was yesterday. And the second best time is today. So if you missed it yesterday, start right now, today. And by the way, if you want to start with your singing and getting in front of people, just a few suggestions. The first one is you could join my Facebook group, and that's kind of it's a private group, which means not all of your friends are going to see what you're posting there. It's just all singers. So you could start posting there every Thursday. And by the way, today is Thursday. Every Thursday, allow everyone to post videos and audios of, whatever you're doing, whether you're just, recording on Smule or YouTube. It doesn't even matter what you do, just anything. Post it and share it and show people. Or you could even start a YouTube channel, or you could just, I don't know, do a little mini concert, invite a few of your friends and say, I'm going to make it like do a little living room concert. And I'm going to sing maybe 5 songs for you. Just do something. Get yourself in front of people, get yourself out. And the more often you get yourself into those situations of being nervous and being like exposing yourself to people and thinking these thoughts of, oh, I don't know, is it horrible? Is it crap? Oh, I think I suck. But then afterwards, people come and tell you, wow, this was amazing. Maybe you could have done it better, but this was wow. Even just the fact that you did it, that starts triggering something in your brain. It's like positive reinforcement. You start learning, oh, actually nothing horrible happened by me doing this. And actually something good happened because someone, even one person, told me something good and they actually enjoyed it. I did something good for one person. And so it almost makes you addicted. I mean, I always have this, like when you get off stage, it's like you can't ever stop doing it. If you've ever been on stage, even it doesn't matter how nervous you've been, you want to do it again. And then right before you do it again, you ask yourself, oh my goodness, what did I get myself into here? I don't want to do it. Oh my goodness, I'm nervous. I would rather just disappear right now. How did I even get myself into this mess? And then you just pull through and you do it anyway. And right after, you have this high of like, wow, I did it. And it wasn't horrible. And it wasn't like, even if a few things went wrong, it wasn't like, wow, it's not like I just was struck by lightning and died on stage. I survived. And getting into this habit, and it creates this loop of positive reinforcement and of training your brain to know nothing horrible is going to happen, and it's not even important. People are going to go home, and either they're going to be like, oh, it was kind of nice, and then they forget, or they're going to be like, wow, this was really something, and then they want to see you again. So the worst thing that can happen is that you make some mistakes, and then people say, oh, that was not the best in the world, but maybe you can do better next time. I mean, that's the worst that can happen, literally. I mean, nobody's going to shoot you. I hope not. Nobody ever shot me. You just have to get yourself into those situations and do it. And that doesn't only apply to singing, it applies to anything. Let me just tell you one story. I don't know if Rino is on here anymore, but Rino I talked to, and he works at a job where he does administration, but he actually loves dealing with computer problems. And so I encouraged him. It's like, if that's your passion, why don't you go for it? And so he just talked to someone at his job, to a supervisor, and just kind of told them, I really would like to do more IT. And now he's going to start training for IT in September. It's a schooling. It's a It's some education he's going to take. And a big part of it is going to be paid by his employer. So if he hadn't even if he had always thought oh, this is the way it is, and I feel stupid and I'm not going to ask. See, you just have to ask. You just have to go get in front of people, say what you want. There's no use in you just always keeping everything to yourself. I've learned that. Saying what you really want and saying what you really mean, it's your ticket to happiness and freedom, because if you just keep playing this role that's not even you, that's not going to do anyone any good. It's not going to help you, and it's not going to help anyone else around you. So, just stand up for what you really want and stand up for what you really want to do, for your passion. You only have one life. It's I always think every day I get up, it's wow, precious life. This is one day. I'm only going to get to live one time in my life. And after I've lived this day, it's over. This is never going to come back. So I better make the best out of it and use it to make the next day even better. And the next, and maybe in 1 and 2 and 5 years. Use today to take some action to make your next years better. I'm a big believer in that. So that's what I wanted to say. And I just know how many people are in this rut of oh, I don't know what people will think, and it's not reasonable, especially when it comes to singing or even a job. I want to start a mastermind group where I really talk a lot about that, about changing your life, changing your future. It's almost like also changing your family tree, because you want to teach your children the same thing. You want to teach your children that they can go for their dreams, that it's not well, this is the way it's done. You just, go to college, then work, and that's what you do. Which you can still be very happy doing that, if you actually do something you enjoy doing. Gotta drink something. So, okay, John Dorn, I'm going to read your comment here. I'm going to read a couple comments. My biggest fear is my customers will see me sing online and think less of me, possibly stop being my customer because of it. I don't want to lose my income source. Is this an unreasonable thought? I'm not going to answer that for you, but I'm just going to ask you something. Do you think your singing is this horrible to where people would think it's a torture to listen to you? Don't answer it here. Answer it for yourself. And do you think possibly that your customers may admire you if you actually start having some success with what you do? And lastly, we always think, even I have actually in the past been on some dating sites. Not now, but I have been. And a lot of people always tell me oh, I'm not putting my picture on because if someone sees me, and I'm thinking what are the chances? Do you think how many videos are there on YouTube? I mean, how many? If you put 5 videos on YouTube, I don't know what the percentage is in relation to how many videos there are every single day, new videos on YouTube. I mean, even someone finding you, that would be luck. That would be incredible luck for even to someone find you at all. But then the most important thing, I don't know. I would just tell you that there maybe they would respect you even more. Plus, this is my opinion. I know. You know what? Can I tell you something? A business story? My business background. I used to be very afraid to charge more for my gigs. And I used to charge 300 euros for a gig or so. And then if someone asked me, oh, this is kind of high, it's not in our budget, and I would negotiate, and I was oh, maybe I can do it for a little bit less. You know what? I was always afraid to lose the gig. I was attached to the outcome of, oh, they have got to book me. I really need that money. But now I'm in the mindset of, I'm just going to tell them the most outrageous number because otherwise I don't even want to leave my house. Which €1,000 is not outrageous because people will pay me that nowadays. But only because of the fact that I don't come across of I really need your business. I really need you to hire me. I really need you to book me. It's like I don't run after the customers that I don't even want to be by my customers. I only want people to book me who see my worth and who see the value in what I do, because I know my value. And I tell them honestly, well, if that's completely out of your budget, we're not going to be on the same page, then maybe you can just hire a DJ. It's not, I don't mean it in a bad way. It's just like, I'm not doing it for that little. I'm just not. It's €1,000. And instead of wanting to get any customer you can possibly get, I don't know, I think you can make more money getting customers that are actually the right customer for you, and not being so afraid of, ooh, I don't know what they think. I need to just kind of, I wouldn't bend my personality in order to cater, like you, as long as you're doing everything right professionally and you're solving their problem. I don't know what you do, but you're solving their problem. People pay you money for solving a problem or for entertaining. I mean, that's the different reasons why people will pay money for something, right? Solving a problem, saving time, or entertainment. If you're doing one of those things, and if you're delivering those things, I just don't think it matters if you sing on YouTube. If anything, they're going to respect you. That's just my opinion. Thank you so much. And that's the kind of stuff I really want to talk about in the mastermind. I have been part of a mastermind for quite a while now, and I want to form a mastermind for singers, and not just singers, but for you, if you really want to change your whole mindset and be in the mindset of, I can do anything I set my mind to, and I can change my destiny by not thinking it's unreasonable to go for what I really truly desire. I believe there's a reason why you have certain desires. I'm not talking about stuff that you like, ooh, no, I want to do it, and then next week you forget about it. But the desire that has been in your heart for months and years, and things like there's something you're really passionate about. I think it's a waste if you just, I think if you have a passion for something, potentially you could help a lot of people solve problems with what you're passionate about. That's just my opinion. That's why I'm doing what I do. I could do something else. There's a lot of ideas I have that what I could do, but I feel I can help most people if I actually do what I'm passionate about. And, I don't just do my videos because I have to. I don't have to. And I don't really make money off YouTube, really. I said that before. I think I make like $200 off of all my videos. And I have 600 videos on YouTube. And I have 3.5 million views or so. Yeah. You're not making, you won't ever get rich off of AdSense unless you have like 5 million subscribers, which is not what I want. I really want to touch people. Oh, start learning the piano. I think learning the piano is a little bit different than like learning to sing. I have a friend of mine, he did really well by just watching tutorials, like YouTube tutorials, free tutorials. There are really great tutorials that just kind of show you how to play a song. And there's also tutorials that show you how to play scales. I would look into that. Or even maybe you just want to learn chords. I think if you want to accompany yourself as a singer, just playing chords is a wonderful thing. I would start there, actually playing chords and, chord progressions, left and right hand. You could probably make fast progress and feel like you're actually playing music. As where, if you start playing like actual songs and classical pieces, it's going to take a lot longer for you to see kind of like that you can actually play with all your fingers. Now I've been talking a lot. Yes, I think playing an instrument always helps becoming a better singer. Absolutely. It's like the basics. If singing is music, and if you know more about music, it's only going to help your singing, right? Okay, I have got to get off. It's almost 30 minutes. Wow, I just can't even believe how fast time is flying by. This is crazy. If you're not on my email list for Find Your Voice, you can get on my email list. Somebody said last week, "Oh, I just signed up for your email list, but I never found you." I don't remember who it was. But you can go to my website, findyourvoice.tv, and I have a opt-in, like you could leave me your email address because I want to send out some more depth information in the future. And I'm also going to create something for people, for you to download. Probably next week, I will try to do that, a video series about, I don't know if I've named it yet, but it's really about 5 steps to start your own online business. And you may think, what does that got to do with singing? It has a lot to do with, because if you don't want to work the regular 9 to 5 job, but do something that you're passionate about, you will also have a lot more time for singing. It doesn't have to be singing. It can be anything. I know you're passionate about something, and I just want to help you. I've been taking courses about this for years now, and I know a lot about it by now. So, yeah, guitar lessons have helped you. Absolutely. I believe it. So, have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. Thanks everyone for hanging out with me. I want to make some more videos for this channel very soon and telling more stories. And I actually want to start telling stories of others too, against all odds, right? So, how you became something that you never thought you would be. Have a great day. If you have not subscribed, that would be awesome. And also give it a thumbs up. That would be awesome. I want more people to find this channel. See you soon. And always, keep believing in yourself. It's really important. And be more of who you already are. You don't need to be anything else. You just need to be more of who you already are. Okay? I'll see you soon. Bye.